Okay, we are at Lisa Evans, 1544 Federal Point Drive, I believe. And she just had a bunch of trees removed. I met with her last week to discuss options moving forward. She definitely wanted to open up her views and the front view of the house. But I'm going to go through the fall cleanup and then just discuss a few of the options along the way. You can see she has tape on all the cracks, but what their plan is to redo this driveway, radiant heat, and we might look into architectural plans and helping with that, but immediately and potentially talking about a new approach up here, or at least a railing. So just looking at different cost options. But for fall cleanup, I think what we need to do is just come through and really give everything some love. They did some of the cleaning up, but we can go ahead and deadhead all the lavender, cut back the grasses. So all these blue oats, we'll just pull out the dead and just leave the blue. They're more evergreen. The Veronica needs cut way back down to the ground, to the new growth. All of this stuff needs cut back to the new growth. And then any shrubs that seem a little unruly or crazy, we can shape a bit, but just daisies, everything cut down to all this new growth that you see at the base of the plant. All the echinacea, up through there, all the grasses. So it's a pretty big fall cleanup throughout this side. Just a lot of cutting back. The Scotch's broom, I think, looks pretty good. There's a few dead spots, but this is beautiful and evergreen and will continue to do its thing. But all the lavender, again, deadheaded, cutting ivy back, keeping it kind of contained to its area, deadheading all these little blue fescues. It looks like she didn't remove some of the stuff, but I think our initial plan is just to come clean up and then assess in the spring with some plans. But you can see lots of little weeds that we can get, and just, again, more cutting back down there. And then I know she really wanted this shrub trimmed back. And then the roses need trimmed back. And you can see on this front side just where the ivy can be cleared out in some areas, just trimmed back a bit. I mean, we want the ivy to thrive and survive, but this is kind of a crazy mess in here. So if we can cut all this back and really groom it, we will potentially figure out a new plan for here. But just a major cleanup throughout here. It looks a little intense, but I think once we get a lot of the big things cut down to their new growth and the grass is taken care of, it'll be easier to see where the ivy, where to stop with the ivy, because it could be endless. Again, grasses over here. These grasses get cut down to the ground. Obviously these grasses get cut down to a third, like up there, and then the blue oats I kind of explained. Out front here, this is more for like redesign, but for now we'll just spruce things up. They really cut back the wisteria severely, so hopefully that comes back well. This holly needs a little love. And then again, these grasses cut down to the ground. The blue fescues stay. The yuccas really could use some cleaning up. And again, the Scotch's broom, some cleaning up there. But all the yucca stalks cut, and then just if we could cut all the dead underneath. Clean up the iris, the black-eyed Susans, all throughout there. Then we have this zone. So she did really clear out a lot of trees, and not a whole lot in here, just some grooming and trimming. And then I think with the vinca, let's just buzz it down with the weed eater. Just buzz it all the way down to the ground and let it do its thing come spring. And then again, just with all these grasses, cutting them all the way down, you can see where the old cuts are. And same, cutting down almost to a third with most of these. These are more evergreen. You can see where, but we cut all the stalks down. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words today. Anyway, here's more of the vinca. So a little bit of a mess. You can see where we need to trim some of the shrubs up there, and the roses. I'll wander up there after here. but the focus will be fall cleanup, obviously. All the black-eyed Susans cut back, all these grasses, the Shenandoah's cut down to 1/3. And then outside of the fence, this bed is hers, as well as the beds over out here. So make sure we get those. There's not a whole lot going on. They did severely prune this tree, which I think is great. And she decided to keep it, which I'm super happy. And then this is just kind of the rock wall. Not a whole lot going on, but definitely clean up where we can. And then this rose bush needs some severe trimming. A lot of the dead pulled out from underneath, and just it's more of like a bush rose. So a hedger would work fine with this, and just cleaning out a lot of the dead and cleaning them up, making them look really nice so that they can perform well next season. Same with these roses out here. The spireas can all be cut back. The barberry grasses again. Around this way, kind of the same stuff. And then it looks like they did some interesting trimming on these spruces. But I think they're cute, so we'll see how they work. But this lavender can be trimmed. They chopped down the hornbeams, which I think her plan is to kind of keep this hedge. But that's basically the scope of the project. This one's locked, so I'll go back around